Today we are going to solve some questions and they're taken from your ACCA mock exam, and they're mixed kind of questions from different chapters. The first question that I'm going to read. First of all, whenever you see the question in exam, read the requirement first. It's written in the bold text. This is the thing. You read first and then you can read the other data and then you are going to solve it. Okay, let's read the requirement first. What total amount would usually be charged to production overhead for the above items? Okay, production overheads, what we are going to charge. Okay, and there are different things are given like a salary of factory manager, training of direct workers, normal idle time in which labor is not working, they are sitting because maybe there is a shortage of material, and overtime premium of direct workers and overtime hours of direct workers at basic rate. You see that it's there that $2,400 is the salary of factory manager, 1,660 is the training for direct worker, 840 is the charge for idle time, and where I'm writing, sorry, yeah, and then 2760 and 9200. This uh, you must remember when you are going to solve labor questions that it is saying that charge to the overhead, production overhead for the above item. Like you understand that this is your overhead, production overhead. Salary of factory manager is considered production overheads. Training of direct worker is also comes in indirect cost. As you know that there are two types of, we can divide cost into two types, direct or indirect, right? So this is indirect, this is also indirect. Indirect cost is also called overhead, right? Normal idle time is also overhead. You need to remember these points when you are going to solve this question. And then overtime premium of direct worker, again this is overhead, and only in one case overtime premium of direct worker could be called direct cost, when overtime is worked on maybe a special request from customer. And there are some words written that premium, what is premium, I am going to tell after solving this question. I will tell you that what does it mean. If you see that premium, what what does it mean if we are saying that's premium like overtime premium. I'm going to explain this. So that's the right now I'm saying that overtime premium of direct worker is indirect costs. Otherwise, only all of them are indirect. Only this one is direct cost. So you are supposed to calculate what? Simply add all these four costs and you would know your answer. Your answer is 7660D should be your answer, right? This is your answer. Remember that I'm talking to Dhiren that when you see this kind of question, you need to remember some points. Or everything is mentioned and like quite well explained in the chapter videos. You can rewatch if you are not able to solve this. Otherwise, the way I have explained, you need to remember these. You can say that maybe this is a theory. You need to remember that salary of direct factory manager is an indirect cost. Training of direct workers, whether they are direct, it doesn't matter if they are obviously if it is written indirect worker, so you would say it is indirect cost. But training of direct workers, even it is indirect. And idle time, normal idle time is considered indirect cost. Overtime premium of direct workers is also indirect, and then overtime hours of direct workers at basic rate is direct cost. You would understand this better when we are going to solve so many questions, and the topic is this chapter. I'm just giving you this short trick that you need to remember these things, and answer is this. You can just make notes and remember these points. So if you see this kind of question, you must know that, and mostly in exam these are the things that which are given. It's a very nice question. Like if you tackle this, you can easily solve in exam as well, and you would get full marks, and you will not make it wrong. Another thing that I was saying, that premium is something, try understand that normally labors are given on hourly basis, right? Hourly basis. So there is normal hours if they are working. I'm talking about the direct workers. Normal hours if they are working, right? If they're working on normal hours, like let's suppose that normal hours and weekly hours I'm writing, 40 are the normal hours, okay? And then they work for overtime. Overtime they work for maybe 4 hours, right? And the rate is, you can say the rate is, uh, they get $5 per hour. Hourly rate is 5. So it means for basic rate, that how much, how you are going to calculate their wage. They work for 40 hours. Weekly wage we are going to calculate 40 hours, and then one employee worked for 40 hours, and the rate is, normal hour rate is 200. So if he worked for like this, so you must be thinking that it should be also overtime is also like calculated on the like basic rate. Yeah, it could be, it could be. And we can say that he worked as well as, and we can also do it like that, that complete total hours he worked, total hours he worked for 44 hours, and you can simply calculate it like that. It's not at all difficult. But say 44 hours he worked and the 5, then you will get this answer. Or if you add these two up, you will get that same answer, right? Whether you calculate in this way or this way, you would get the same answer, right? But this is the thing, that if you are just giving your employee, your workers, that if they are working on overtime, you are not giving them the higher rate. You are saying that same for $5 they are going to rate. But if you want to motivate your labor to work uh, like overtime, so what you can do, that there is a thing that the premium is like giving that is something, that if I say that if overtime premium is there, then what does it mean? If you say that they are we give them wage on premium basis as well, so what does it mean? Let me explain. See, like you are saying that overtime, obviously 40 hours they work for normal hours, 4 is overtime. But you can say that it could be 7.5, because overtime rate would be higher than usual. Why is that? And it is called that normally time and a half. If it says that overtime is paid at the time and a half, uh, sometimes it mentioned in your question that overtime is paid time and a half. If it is saying the time and a half, it means that usual basic plus premium. It means that 5 is the basic rate they are going to get, and then premium is, you can say that 2.5. The like premium is based on this time and a half. So time is full and time and a half means 2.5. So when you add these two up, you will get the answers in decimal. If I say 7.5, you see. So that is why in this way, that we can say that it is a mixed like rate you are given. One is basic including premium. So premium is considered indirect cost and basic is your direct cost, like you are paying for your employee. This is the thing. So not premium is considered indirect. Only there is one case the premium could be, you can say that premium can also be the direct cost when you can write like that. It can be the direct cost when over overtime is done on special request from a customer. And you can see that the wording would be that let's see, wording would be like this, like overtime you can see the word specific in your like specific or special request, specific order or special request. Okay, when you see these kind of keywords, you can say that overtime premium is your indirect cost, is your indirect overtime premium. In this case it is a direct cost, sorry, it can be the direct cost. You can say it is the direct cost, not can be, it is actually, it is the direct cost when overtime is done on premium. I'm talking about the premium, right? Otherwise it is premium is always indirect cost. So that is why salary of factory manager, because why it is indirect, because factory manager is not working directly or on, like he's not working directly on the on units or material. He's not working directly, he's not a direct worker, he's an indirect worker. Training is also considered indirect, training is not a direct. Normal idle time is also indirect, and overtime premium, as I said, of if it is written here, overtime premium of direct workers was done on a special request from a customer. If it is written like that, that there was an why it was there, so you would not add these. Then you would say only this would be the right answer. If it was mentioned here that overtime premium was done on a special request, so then you would say that your answer is 4990. Is there any answer like that? Yeah, B could be the answer. But as it's not mentioned, so that is why we would consider premium is a indirect cost, right? There is a confusion, the concept time and a half. You see, time, as I said, that basic is full time, full, you can say full 1 hour basic rate. So, like time is something like that. If you say time and the half is something, half is this times half. So half is this. Try and understand. So if you can say time and a half could be like that. Like if the basic is 5, so half of 5 would be 2.5, right? So the rate would be, you can say, the overtime rate including including premium. Okay, overtime rate including premium would be what? You can see 8 because of decimal, it's showing 7.5, right? And you say that this is half, I'm saying, so half time and a half, that this extra half, you can say this is that like you are giving extra over basic rate. So half you are giving time and a half, so this is your extra amount that you are giving. Or extra means extra is actually premium. and that premium is your indirect cost. And if it is, try understand, if it is $10, basic rate is $10, then you must know that if basic rate is 10, so half of 10 would be what? $5, right? So when you would add, so it would be 15, the complete overtime rate, including premium. If it is, I understand. Why don't you understand? 2. So half of 2 would be 1. So it means 3 you are going to pay for full. Do you understand my point? So this is the thing. So this is the basic which you are going to, like, if the like basic, or we can say basic or normal hours are 40. So means overtime, if they are working, overtime could be 5. So like you can say total would be what? 45 hours they work. So if overtime is paid on a like premium basis, so you can understand that 40 hours are there, and rate could be anything. Rate could be maybe 5 sometimes. Rate could be any other rate. It depends. Rate could be $7. Rate could be, you can say that $12. Rate could be anything. So if you see that half of this would be 2.5, and 7, the half of 7 would be what? You can see, carrying my point. And the half of this would be 6. So the total amount would be what? You can easily understand. The total would be like this is the over rate, basic rate. So you are going to add these two. So here would be the total, including premium. And you say that this would be your direct rate, and this is your indirect if it is not on a special request from a customer. So this that extra amount, extra penny, extra dollar you are given, it is your indirect. It could be anything. That thing that you wrote, that time and a half could be 1.5. I said yes. 1.5 means like 1 is the full rate. Zero point 0.5 means the half of 1. So that is why I was saying that's right. It doesn't mean that we are going to add premium would be 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 here. No, it would be the basic rate half. Here it is 2.5, here it is 5, here it is 1. That's so simple. I hope now you understand. All right. So the next one, let's try this one. I didn't record that one. Let me do it. That I just said that if you are going to do it like that, I told you that you one time and a half means this is the thing, half is this, and how you are going to these, you are going to add these up. This is very, like you can say, childish kind of calculation, very simple. You are not going to make any mistake. Otherwise there is an advanced version of this calculation you can simply do. If you want to directly you don't want to do it, and you want to get the direct rate, that how much would be the rate for the overtime premium, then the complete overtime, that including premium, then you can do what? Here I just basic rate you are going to multiply it with 1.5, then you will get the same answer if you do it like this way. This is the fast calculation, you can do it. Here if it is in quarterly like base you are given, that the then 0.25 would be like 25 cents you are given on the premium. Then what you are supposed to do, you can simply do it with one the basic rate you are going to multiply it with 1.25, then you can get the same answer, which you can otherwise you can just add these two, you will get the same answer, not getting the same because of the decimal. And you can see here you are getting the same answer, so you can do it in either way. Anyways, let's move forward to the next one. And let's see that what it is saying, that requirement is asking you that using absorption costing, what is the total production cost per unit of product X? Okay, absorption costing, you know that what happens in absorption costing, and it is asking about the total production cost per unit, production cost. Okay, and per unit. if I'm not wrong. And remember absorption costing rule. In absorption costing, what we do that variable cost, and we also add we can say that fixed overhead, fixed production overhead. Okay, this and variable cost is mostly, you can say that it could be the variable cost, or you can also say that prime cost as well. You can say that it could be the prime cost, right? Let's see. Product X, the prime cost means, as we have discussed, that prime cost, let me write, prime cost includes uh, direct material, direct labor, and direct expense. This is your prime cost mostly. Okay. Product X is manufactured by Y company. Direct material cost 6.10. Okay, 6.10. And prime cost total 9.60. Okay, prime cost it is saying, and let me write here prime cost. And you know that prime cost is, if we add these three up, then we'll get the prime cost. And it is already telling you that 9.6 is your prime cost. So when it is already given you that this is your answer, if you add these three up, sometimes the direct material is not given, and it's not present, but direct material and direct labor is always there. So this would be the thing that 9.6 is your prime cost. So it means you are going to ignore it, because as I said that in absorption costing, you write the variable cost. Variable cost means direct material and direct labor, and prime cost, if it is given you, so you simply add this direct cost and ignore this one. Why? Because it is in 9.6 it is included, and if it asks you that there is no direct expense, let's see that if there is no direct expense and it is asking that direct material is this, prime cost is this, and calculate direct labor. So how you will get it? You will simply do what? That if you uh, do it like that, you will get 3.5 would be your direct labor. If you deduct 6.1 from 9.6, you will get this. But it is not asking you, it's not our requirement. It is asking about the total production cost per unit. And total production cost per unit is calculated like this in marginal costing, that you will add these two and you will get the answer. It is saying that this one, and it is also saying that production overhead are absorbed at a rate of 13.40 per machine hour. If I write here what happens, 13.40, and let's add these two. So 23 could be the answer, but is this the right answer B, or it is saying 2 units of products X are manufactured per machine hour? You again see this, and because this would not be the thing that you are going to write here. Listen, that it is saying that production overheads are absorbed at a rate of 13.4 per machine hour. 2 units of product X are manufactured by a machine hour, and it is asking about for 1 unit cost. So it means that here you will not write it like that. What you would do, that 13.4 you are going to divide with 2, because it is for 13.4 is for 2 units. You are going to calculate for 1 unit. It would be this one, and this is why the D is the right answer. D would be your right answer. That's so simple. And again, I'm repeating that how did I do that? It is given you the direct material cost, and let me erase this direct material cost and prime cost. So you will only consider prime cost, because prime cost is your variable cost that you would write here. And then, like, how do you calculate the absorption unit cost in absorption costing? Uh, Variable production cost and variable production cost and fixed production overhead per unit you will add, so you will get the answer. There is one mistake you could make, the 13.4 you could add here, but as it is saying in the next line that total units of production X are manufactured per machine hours, so this told me that I had first I would divide 13.4, and because it is for 2 units, and this is why our fixed production overhead is 6.7, and our answer is 16.3, and which is D. The next one is how many kgs of the raw material needs to be purchased to satisfy the above requirements. Okay, how many raw material we are going to purchase? Okay, so it says that production X requires 1.8 kg of a raw material per finished unit. One unit requires 1.8 kg of material. Okay, and the material has a weight loss of 10% in preparation for manufacture. Okay, so it means to understand that when we input a material, input is always 100% and a 10% is the loss, and 10% is a loss, and we get normally get 90, because because loss is we deduct input, like whatever you manufacture, it happens, and it is a normal practice that whatever material you input, there is a normally there is a loss. So it says that usually it is 10% loss, and then output would be 90%. Always remember that output would never be 100%, input would always be 100%. Whatever you amount like input, that would be your 100%, and then 10 is your loss, so 90 would be the output. All right. So inventory of the material is currently 420 kg but needs to be increased to 500. It means that our opening inventory is 420, 420, and closing is, why it's given in percentage. Let me correct it. What it is? 420, 500. So the closing is 500, right? So 2000 units of production X are to be manufactured. 2000 are to be manufactured. The production would be for 2000 units. Or you can say here, if it's saying that production would be this, it means the demand would be this, that this is you need to give in the production, and so 2000 would be your demand, and 420 would be your opening, 500 would be your closing, right? And how many kgs of the raw material needs to be purchased to satisfy the above requirement? I tell you one more thing, that if it's saying the inventory of material is currently 420, it means for the previous period it was there, that is why it is your opening. And closing, it says that normally whenever they businesses purchase material, whatever they manufacture, it doesn't mean that whenever they get the order, so they just buy, like, try understand that if you get the order from your customer that you have to manufacture 1,000, and you have you can say that in stock, because it is your stock, opening is your stock, in stock you have zero. So it doesn't mean that order is you have to prepare 1,000 units, so stock is zero, so how much you are going to buy? So it is not the best practice that you are going to buy only 1,000, because the demand is for 1,000. Business does what? They also want to keep the free inventory stock. Free inventory is called, would be free inventory concept, you must understand. Free inventory is something that you say that if you fulfill this demand, whatever your order is, there should be some remaining inventory in your stock. So remaining could be, we can think over that it could be 400. So it means if remaining is 400 and this is our demand, so how much should we purchase? How much should we purchase? So purchase, obviously there is nothing in your stock. 1,000 is your order. 400 you want to keep. After satisfying this order, so obviously you are going to buy 1,400. It means that for 1,000 you will prepare and just give for to that customer, and 400 would also would still remain in your stock. And it is also there, like sometimes that if you just rewrite as this question says, that as it is saying that stock, like right now you have 420 and you want to keep in your free inventory 500, and what is the demand? Demand is 2000. And remember one point, don't make this mistake. It's the demand, 2000 units of production X are to be manufactured, itne banane hain. Like this is the thing what you're supposed to do, that 420 kg by but needs to be increased. Here what you are doing, that 2000 is the it's mentioned in the unit form, and the opening and closing is given in the kgs form. So if I say that what is the demand here, 2000, okay, and you need to multiply 2000 from this. You understand? This is your demand, that you have to fulfill this 3600. To understand what I did, because it is uh, manufactured. I'm just writing here demand, and let me write here. This is not the right way to write here. And let me tell you, 2000 multiply 1.8. Why? Because to make 1 unit we need 1.8 kgs of raw material. So this is the thing, the demand is this, opening is this, so you can also write in this way. Do you understand? So how much you are going to purchase? How did I do it? This one I did it in this way, that I just added these two up, right? So how you are going to do it, that if I just this one is your stock, this one is your order. If you remember the cost of sales formula, if you remember, it is the same formula. Cost of sales is normally written like that: opening plus purchases minus closing, right? So purchases is this, and cost of sales you can also rewrite like that. If you see this kind of question, you can write it like that: opening, and for your understanding, purchases minus closing. So if we just this is the thing, because demand is there, demand or order and opening, and then purchases and minus closing. This is the thing. So what you can just rewrite this equation by changing their positions, that because you have to calculate purchases, so you will take opening and closing to the left side of the equals to sign. So you can rewrite it like that: purchases equals to demand, right? And the opening would be now in the negative sign, and this would be in the positive sign. So closing, this way you can write. And then what you would do, here I just tell you one thing: the demand is there, opening and like closing you would write afterwards. This 3600 is the amount that you would write here, right? Because this is your output, so you need to see that how much input you are going to give. Like input would be, if you want to calculate the input key material, then you are going to multiply divide it with this 90 and multiply with this 100. So you will get 4000 should be your input. So what you are supposed to write here, you can see that this is not your actual right now, because if there was no loss, then you could take it like this. You could say that you will take it like this, but 4000 is the thing that you are going to write. 4000 and 4420, and then 500. And according to our formula, what do you say, that your demand minus your opening, which is I wrote as a stock, and then your free inventory you would add. So 4080 is the right answer, which you are going to. And do we have this answer? Yes, D is the right answer. It's a simple question. I told you in a maybe in a lengthy way. Otherwise, it's not at all difficult. I can just give you a quick recap what we did. that when I saw this question, I said that first of all, you must understand that what it is saying about the loss. There's 10% loss. So that is why I told you. I didn't tell you this. I just mentioned that this is the thing that you must remember. And then I told you that normally what happens that what does it mean by like free inventory? I gave you the example. Then I said that you need to remember, if you want to solve this question, remember this cost of sales formula, that opening plus purchases. If we say opening and purchases is also called your uh, opening in purchases, actually your available inventory or whatever the kgs are. Opening plus purchases and then closing, then you can get the cost of sales, whatever the unit you sold, or so how much was the cost for it. So this is a very easy formula, and mostly people like account from accounting background. If you have done the financial accounting, you must know that how do we do it, cost of sales. And then demand is I told you that you can also rewrite it like that, that you are manufactured units that you have to manufacture, or your demand or whatever, you can rewrite in this way, the same. I didn't change the signs. And then I said that you can now you can just, when you get this, you can just rearrange this equation. And I said that we have to calculate purchases. So purchases I wrote here, and this opening and closing I took at the left side, and that's why the opening became the negative and closing became positive. And then this is the thing. But here, don't make this mistake that 3600 you are going to write. You are going to need to just check it that this is 3600, this is your demand, it means this is your output. So we need to see that how much should be the input. So that's why you have to purchase or buy kgs of material, that because there is a wastage as well, 10% wastage. So this is a relevant figure which we are going to take in the formula. Then 400, I just did what, that I deducted this 420 and then added 500, and I got the right answer. It needs just practice. When you try to solve this question, you can again try on your own this or similar kind of question one or two, three times, and you will get the idea. And it's quite easy one, not at all difficult, I say.
Yeah.
How did I get this 4,000? It's very easy. You see that 3,600 is already there. That how did we calculate this 2,000? I hope that you know that 2,000 is given as a unit form. So we can like we converted them into kgs. So 3,600 is our kg. But it, as it says that this is like whenever we try to manufacture that thing, in the process there is a 10% loss. So it's simple calculation which I made, that whenever you see that you can simply put when you see this kind of question, and when you understand that 100 is the input, 10% is your loss and output, and you know that output is your this one 90%, because the base is 90%, you wrote it there. So if you want to calculate that how much should be the input, what you do, that you simply, I'm just going to do it again, that what I did, that this is you need to take, and the base of this is 90%. The base of this 3,600 is 90%. That is why you are going to always divide the figure from its base. So that's why I divided it. And then when you multiplied there is a cross multiplication. When you multiply with this 100, then you will get the answer, which is 400, 4,000. If you want to get the how much would be the loss, you can easily calculate the loss. You can also do it like that, that this is the thing divided with 90%, and if you multiplied with the 10%, then you will see that you can get the 400. If you want to do it not like that, and if you want to try that this is your, if you already know this 4,000, you can also get the loss figure. That how, that simply 4,000 divided it with 100, because 100 is the base of 4,000. Okay. So then you will multiply it with 10%, again you will get the 400. So this is a simple whenever you see this kind of percentage kind of calculation, you can simply do it. You are doing it the way, because 3,600 you will divide it with 90%, it's its base, and you want to get the answer, because you do not know the answer, what would come here, what would come here. So how would you get it? You will get it like that, simply divide it with its base and multiplied with 100, you will get the answer. And you can also do it like that, simply don't do it. If 4,000 is also already there, if it is asking you about the output, how you are going to do it? 4,000 divided with 100% and then multiplied with 90, you will get 3,600. You can see the magic. So 3,600 is the output figure which you can get.